I'm a much more bold man person. Oh, absolutely. I had nothing to do with this. I'm not interested in talking.
You, but it wasn't you. When it did, they exploded. Should have died there. Your past. They don't. Maybe. Not the soul. None. You. What? Didn't stop you. Peace. All the. Want to hear and act as the soldier. Your road, the way, and there, at the end.
All right, cool. We talked to him. Yes. So people do say more. What is that? I am not interested in this. Oh dear. Oh, they're just players. Cool. Neat. Yes, it's very easy for me to be, like, for example, if I want to be this person, like, I could say some really outrageous things online because, you know, I'm in the comfort of my own home. And no one's really watching me. Like, yes, like, I could say something right now that's really offensive to say, like, the audience watching, and I'll just get away with it. And then, by that same note, I wouldn't be comfortable saying that to you and, like, right to your face because, like, you'd be right there. Yes, I think we need to go down this way. And you see that a lot in, like, online games. Like, I've noticed, like, not for the games I play specifically, but a lot of people are more likely to be, you know, unfriendly on the internet because they have the ability to be anonymous on the internet. Like, people don't really know who they are. Like, and well, I think that's mostly it. Like, and even then, like, for example, like, for here, like, me streaming, like, I put my face up on here so people, like, know what I look like. At least they know what my head looks like. Which is a bit of a weird thing to think about if I start thinking about it too much, so I'm not going to do that. And moreover to the point, like my real name is, I think, somewhere on, like, you know, my Twitch page or, like, my YouTube channel or whatever. Like, people can find my real name if they're really looking for it. But then beyond that, like, I do try to make sure I hide my other stuff, like, where I live and everything. But for an online game, it's like, you don't even have the person's name. They have, like, a username in front of it. So it's very easy for them to, I guess, hide themselves. So, and I...
Dad? Hey, Dad!
Careful, Tommy.
He's not dangerous.
I don't know.
Please? Yay!
What's Chicago? We don't even know who Chicago is. Let's go. Yeah, it's really there to see. Yeah, and see, I wish people's, like, natural inclination, like, was to not be mean on the internet, but, like, rather is, like, be friendly. Like, I like it when I play games and I'm playing with people who are aggressively friendly. It's just like, hey, man, good job, no worries, like, I got your back. Like, that feels great when that happens. And I can see that, like, when that happens in the Counter-Strike, like, Go, and oh my goodness, he exploded in giblets. I think part of the reason why, like, that does happen is because, like, Counter-Strike's a pretty competitive game. It's, I mean, you guys are fighting the other team, and this is an outsider's perspective looking in, but in my mind, Counter-Strike is extreme. Like, if you play, like, Counter-Strike, you're a hardcore gamer in my mind. Like, it's like, oh yeah, like, if you play Counter-Strike, especially if you play it online, then you're definitely okay to get your hands dirty and, like, do all of these, I was gonna say, like, questionably evil stuff. Like, no, you guys aren't the villains, but like, you're comfortable in a competitive environment, and I think when people are in competitive environments, like, they're more likely to get stressed out, and I think that's why people can be a little bit more hostile. But it would be really neat to live in a world where people are just like, nah, I don't feel like being negative today. I just want to be positive. Like, I want to be like, yes, like life's great. That would be sick. I'd be so down for that. And like, I think I've been pretty lucky because I haven't really experienced a lot of like online negativity. Oh dear. Or if I do, it's easy to filter out. And again, I think that's partly because of the games I do play. Lose body. Like, for StarCraft, it's a little bit hard to be bad-mannered because it's a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Mechanically demanding game. There you go. So you don't really have a lot of time to, like, you know, type up CDs to the other person, and there's not really a dedicated voice chat. Whereas I imagine for Counter-Strike Go, and I have no idea whether or not this is true or not. Oh, we can blow this up. I'm imagining if there's voice chat, then people just like hop into voice chat, and it's really easy for them to be salty because they don't need to type on the keyboard or anything. Like, they can just go at it, so to speak. Like, they can just say whatever they're talking about. Like, even like for me right now, both hands, like one hand's on the keyboard, one hand's on the mouse. Ugh, not the mouth. But I can kind of like just talk about whatever I want to. Like, I could play the game and still have a conversation, which is exactly what's happening right now. Yeah, it's a lot of stress, but you deal with it. And it's a lot of online people, I guess, to the point where you're just used to it. Yeah, and that's just it. Like, it's sad that, in my mind at least, it's a little bit sad that, like, we're just used to it. Like, I don't know. I just wish we weren't quite like that. And I think some people are more sensitive to it than others. I know for me, like, I'm like, oh, I'm such a delicate snowflake when it comes to, like, that kind of stuff. Like, I am not... Oh, dear. I'm not great when it comes to online negativity. Like, for Overwatch, I don't even join the voice chat for the team because I'm like, well, there exists a possibility that people are going to be, like, mean to me, so I'm just not interested. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, there's voice chat, but sometimes typing voice nail 0 in the console is very nice. But yeah, I bet. And again, some people aren't bothered by that that negativity. Like, they're just like, yeah, okay, like, whatever. Like, people are just being salty on the internet. But like, some people, like, they do feel bad. Like, when someone like yells on you on the internet, like, it can't feel bad when someone's like, yeah, like, you suck. Oh dear. That was not good. We're gonna be in trouble, I think. Got him. How'd you have delicate? I just never got bothered with that. Oh, and no, that's fine. Like, everyone's like different, right? Like, again, like, a lot of people like I know, there's like, yeah, like, you know, it sucks that it happens, but I'm not gonna get too worked up about it. Like, it's just, you know, part of the community. Those silly rascals. Like, I think out of like my circle of friends and most people I know, like, I'm the most delicate one when it comes to online negativity. Which I guess is bad for me, and it's like, why you Twitch streaming, man? Like why are you here? Like, you're inviting it onto yourself, so. And like, it is, but like, even like for me though, like, even though, like, it is easy to be negative on the internet, I make an effort not to be like. That's just it. Like, even though I think, like, in general it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive, the people who are positive on the internet, those are the people I remember. Like, the people are just like, hey, you know what? Great job, team. Like, I still remember to this day, this one time I was playing League of Legends, and my one team member was really just like tearing into me, just like, oh man, like you suck or whatever. And like, I was like, whatever, like, he's angry, that's fine. But some guy on the other team like stood up for me. He's like, hey, no, like the only one who's being like, you know, the jerk here is you. Like you're the one like screaming at the other guy for playing the game. Like he was kind to me, and it's like I remember that kindness so much because it was so cool to me to see that someone like on the internet defend a random stranger that they did not know. Like that was. We're taking a lot of damage here. We're taking a ton of damage. This is bad. And we will take a thick red paste. Oh, maybe not. Hey, Birdman, how's it going? Howdy there, partner, to you too. It's high noon, right? Wink! I feel like sometimes telling people they suck and saying it's going not really on them. It's not really young on them by telling them what they're doing is wrong. It's good because I feel like the person knows that they have potential. That might seem weird. Okay, so I get what you're saying. Like, there is definitely a thing called constructive criticism. And I think knowing when to give out constructive criticism is... That's a difficult skill. Because, like, if someone asks, like, hey, like, how do I become better at Counter-Strike? You might say, like, okay, well, something I've noticed is that, like, when you fire your handgun, you're very sporadic about it. So, like, what you actually need to do is, like, take your shots and name them. Like, you can give, like, constructive criticism like that. Like, you might say, what you do is before you fire your shot, like, hold your gun for 2 seconds and then pull the trigger. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that makes sense. That's different than just saying, hey, like, you suck for handgun. It's like, well, okay, like, what does that even mean? And it also depends on if the person, like, wants the feedback or not. Let's actually check the map, see where we want to go. Like, if I'm talking to someone, like, for me, personally, I don't give out advice unless people ask for it. That's my rule. Whether or not you agree with it, like, that's completely up to you. And that's just it. Some people, like, disagree. They might say, like, hey, like, I know, like, you've really been struggling. And that's completely alright, too. Like, everyone has, like, a different opinion, like, whether or not you should give out, like, constructive criticism. And, like, that's... I don't think there's a right answer. I think it comes down to preference. And I've already just said, for me, like, I will never give it out unless people ask for it. Whereas some people are more okay to be like, okay, like, I'll, like, just say, like, this is what I'm gonna say. And then sometimes, too, like, people do, like, give out more barbed advice. Like, you know, like, it hurts a little bit more, but they do mean well. It's like, hey, like, your, like, handgun skills are atrocious, but, like, what you should do is, like, you should just focus for body shots instead of just going for headshots, like, because you'll be much better off. Like, that's still, like, helpful criticism. Like, it's just worded in a less diplomatic way. And, like, but, like, it also gets your point across. It's like, yeah, like, you really are atrocious. Like, you're not pulling your punches. Like, you're letting the person know, like, yeah, sorry, you really do suck with the handgun. And, like, something that's really important, too, like, even for me, if someone's like, hey, your commentary just sucks because, like, you just slur your words together, that can be helpful because it's telling me, like, okay, like, this, it's really that bad that someone would have, like, that strong of a reaction to it. The only nice people I met in Counter-Strike Go will comment you, but comment themselves at the same time. They're very oh, so it's just like, you're a good team member, but I have a great skill in picking team members. Sounds like they blew out the primary deal, I guess. Yeah. It's really rare to get positive feedback at Counter-Strike Go, though, so it's just a deal with a thing. If I were to get a 4K collection once around, no one would say anything, but if I were to do something stupid, like Rush spawn with a negative, yeah, and that's I think that makes a lot of sense. People are more willing to criticize, like, the bad plays than they are to give compliments for the good plays. Like, and that's why, like, when I play games, like, I always try and say thank you or, like, hey, like, good work, or, like, thanks team, like, because, like, people just don't do that. Like, I've had games where, like, my team keeps bailing me out, and I'm like, thanks team for, you know, bailing me out. Or every time, like, when I play Overwatch, like, I make an effort that whenever the healer heals me, I try to say thanks for the healing, like, because, like, they're healing me, like, thank you for healing me. They didn't have to heal me, so it's like, thank you for doing that. I got distracted by the robot. But no, I think, like, what you're saying, like, I think that's exactly why it's so important to try